Hello and welcome to an official SCARS video. The following video is copyright 2021 SCARS, Society of Citizens Against Relationship Scams. All rights reserved. Today we're going to be talking about doxing. Doxing, a kind of terrorism or cyberbullying, having private information exposed by someone specifically to cause harm, to hurt you. Hello, this is Dr. Tim McGuinness. I'm Chairman, Managing Director of the Society of Citizens Against Relationship Scams. Thank you for joining us. This is our first in a series of new videos that we will be doing to help everyone better understand the nature of scams and specific different types of cybercrimes. So what we're going to be talking about is doxing. There are a lot of despicable things that are done online. Many are intended just to hurt you. Some are intended to hurt you financially, some emotionally, some, such as doxing, are intended to hurt you in every way possible. Think about your own life. What information would you never want to have become public? Doxers know this when they gain the power to release it to hurt you. Some doxers just want to hurt as much as possible and think nothing of nor care about the consequences. Other doxers want to have power over someone and use it as leverage for blackmail. Yes, blackmailers who use exposure as a control mechanism then become a doxer. We see this in sextortion, for example. This is something that recently happened to SCARS itself. Doxing. Doxing personal information is a growing concern to all. Personal information online is common forever. Without the internet being so prevalent, this wouldn't be a problem. Many records are found online, such as voting, property ownership, and even bankruptcies and new business filings. But what is doxing? Doxing, either spelled D-O-X-I-N-G or D-O-X-X-I-N-G, is the act of publicly revealing previously private information about an individual or organization, usually through the internet. Methods employed to acquire such information include searching publicly available databases and social media websites such as Facebook. It can include hacking or social engineering to acquire the information. Doxing may be carried out for various reasons, including online shaming, extortion, and so-called vigilante aid to law enforcement, such as scam baiting. It also may be associated with hacktivism. It may also be associated with plain old blackmail, somebody trying to use information to gain power, advantage, other information about you so that they have some measure of control over what is going on in a given situation. Doxing happens. Doxing may occur when someone publishes online someone else's information, which can be their address, their phone number, such as their cell phone number, email, place of work, some other piece of information that is personal to that person. The posting of someone else's information may be doxing contingent upon other factors that need to be considered. Just posting someone's public information would not be considered doxing in all cases. You have to look at the context, the motivation or motives behind the posting. Posting someone's information that would not otherwise be made public, but for the posting, that is to say, posting something that wouldn't be otherwise easily found or exposed without serious searching, would constitute doxing. This means by which the information was obtained can also constitute doxing. If the information posted about someone was obtained via an act of computer abuse, hacking, or email intrusion, or the use of social engineered scam, this would also constitute doxing. Social engineering attacks, such as phishing, can also lead to doxing. Again, the mechanism is important, but also the motivation behind the action. Whether there was a clear-cut intention to cause harm, whether there were threats, anything that helps clarify the reasoning behind the act helps define it as doxing, and as such is a crime. Just sharing already available information from social media would not constitute doxing. But what should be kept in mind is that the sharing of the content could violate the terms of use for the social media platforms such as Facebook. If that occurs, then the poster could be banned from that site. And if demonstrates an intent to do or cause harm, that may be doxing as well. Aside from the source, the intent of the post should also be factored in. We see this commonly in seeking to denigrate someone, shame someone, even your political opponents, former business partners, former spouse, former partner after a relationship breaks up. This intent, this malicious intent of the poster is an important criteria to determine if it was doxing. The intent of the posting person has multiple considerations. The long-term impact of being harassed online could lead someone to claim significant emotional distress or cyberbullying, or even concerns for their own safety. Posting someone's personal identifying information, PII, such as social security numbers, this could be via email, it could be via an online post, it could be in a video, it could be in a multitude of forms. This is doxing and it's illegal. The publication of someone's PII can easily be construed as having an ill intent or malicious intent, and can be demonstrated to have harassing import. What this means is it can be demonstrated to be a willful act of harassment against another person. Such an event carries possibilities of personal injury, arguing harassment, invasion of privacy, violation of the person's rights of publicity, emotional distress, assault, and possibly defamation, libel. Such as, for example, if doxing information results in the person being mistakenly identified with someone else, an act, crime, something of this nature. Doxing personal information may draw on aspects of stalking and cyberstalking. Federal law against stalking may apply in doxing situations because of the harassing impact, intimidation effects of the posting, and the use of interactive computer services to effectuate the doxing are all considered in the United States law against this. The law, 18 U.S. Code section 2261A, whoever, paragraph 2, with the intent to kill, injure, harass, intimidate, or place under surveillance with the intent to kill, injure, harass, or intimidate another person uses the mail, any interactive computer service, or electronic communication facility of interstate or foreign commerce to engage in a course of conduct that, paragraph A, places the person in reasonable fear of the death or the serious bodily injury to a person, or, paragraph B, causes, attempts to cause, or would reasonably expected to cause substantial emotional distress to a person, shall be punished as provided in section 2261 of this title. What that basically says is it's against the law. You cannot willfully attempt to hurt a person online and get away with it. Your freedom. Doxing is not freedom of speech. You do not have the right to intimidate, cause harm to another person through anything posted online, pure and simple. Freedom of speech allows you to express an opinion, but if that opinion causes harm to a specific individual, it can be considered doxing. The freedom that so many feel they have to exercise their freedom of speech is being done ignorantly, carelessly, and ruining the benefit of the free marketplace of ideas. The vengeance that we witness from the posting of online content is, in many ways, is nothing more than malicious intent and not to further constructive social dialogue. You see this constantly in the political arena. Someone's personal information, though not PII, personally identifiable information, if disclosed for the purpose of humiliating that person because, say, they filed bankruptcy 15 years ago, or had a divorce, or had failing business dealings, is mostly to denigrate that person and does have legal consequences. Just posting about someone else may not be harmless, especially because so many fail to consider the consequences. Each person has a responsibility to examine what they post in the context of whether or not it can cause specific, real harm to another human being, specifically the person named. Generalized information that doesn't talk about a person or doesn't contain any personally identifiable information is not doxing. That falls under freedom of speech and your opinion. Examples of doxing also include some things you might not have considered, such as the crime of swatting. Swatting is posting online information that relates to doxing in the following way. Swatting is when a fake call is made to the local police to go to someone's home or place of business under the pretext, in other words, lie, that there has been or is a crime being committed, usually involving violence that requires law enforcement's attention to prevent further harm. In other words, the example we see in the news frequently is someone calls 911, says that shots have been fired, someone is in danger, someone's being killed, etc. Please send SWAT immediately. And they end up breaking down someone's door unannounced, rush into a house and terrorize everyone there when there was no cause, when there was no crime being committed. This is traumatic, harmful, intimidating for everyone involved, including the police, because the police are putting their own lives at risk every time they do something like this. And whenever there's a call that is a fake police call, it takes them away from potentially being able to help someone else. That is also a crime, usually covered by state statutes since it's a local crime. Another example of a kind of doxing is sextortion, which involves the use of sexual photos or intimate information that the doxer, someone, uses to threaten the person, frequently demanding money or other acts or favors on the part of the person being extorted. This is a form of extortion, profoundly harmful on the victim involved. We talk about extortion elsewhere on romancescamsnow.com, romancescamsnow.com. And we encourage you to search for sextortion on our website to find additional information about that. Personal privacy. It is important to recognize someone's expectation of personal information privacy may not be as rigid as we think. The term restricted personal information should be considered with doxing because someone's expected privacy of such information is, in an open society, is important. It is reasonable to assume the privacy or anonymity of where someone lives and expect that someone's domicile, their home, is not publicly known. along with the expected privacy of someone's email address, phone numbers, place of work, identification of their children, for example, and personal history. These are all examples of things that are reasonably considered private, both under the law and in our society, and all too often are massively abused by would-be entrepreneurs who post databases of instantly. The next time you decide to do a background search on someone, consider that everyone in that database is in effect being doxed. Everyone in that database has had their privacy violated by that business person. Unfortunately, many courts have decided that this is not a violation of rights, that it comes from publicly available databases. But on the other hand, the person performing the search on those databases may in fact be the doxing person, and the person that can be held criminally liable if they take that information and then post it online, depending upon their intent. Doxing personal information along with related criminal acts, such as trolling, cybercrime, harassment, and stalking, are becoming an epidemic that's destroying the fabric of our society. We believe this has to stop. It's happened to me personally. It's happened to almost everyone that I know in one way or another. It's extremely harmful and potentially very traumatic. The internet and mobile communications have given everyone an easier means to communicate, learn, and to do research, and to be entertained and empowered. But all too many resort to its capability for weaponizing digital communications. For that reason, federal and state laws are in place and are developing, and there is considerable efforts to strengthen them against and punish doxing. Unfortunately, laws are not uniform across the world. So in the United States and some other countries, they have taken the leadership role in making such activities illegal. Not every country, in fact, most other countries don't consider this a crime. Just keep in mind that there are other laws which may apply. For example, in many countries around the world, defamation is also considered an actual crime. Here in the United States, unfortunately, defamation by itself is not considered a crime, but you can certainly sue someone under a variety of contexts if someone defames you. Remember your legal rights, and remember that zero tolerance against cybercrime in any form, doxing being one of those. So this has been Dr. Tim McGuinness with the Society of Citizens Against Relationship Scams. I thank you for participating in watching this video. We are SCARS. We support cybercrime and scam victims worldwide. Come and find us online, in social media, we're everywhere. You can find more information at www.romancescamsnow.com or visit our corporate website at againstscams.org, www.againstscams.org. If you would like to be a volunteer of SCARS or support our mission, please visit our corporate website. Again, that is againstscams.org. And remember to report all acts of cybercrime and cybercriminality on anyscam.com. Anyscam is a chain of custody repository for criminal reports that distributes these reports free of charge to our feed recipients around the world. Thank you again for listening. This has been Dr. Tim McGuinness. I am Chairman and Managing Director of SCARS. I appreciate your listening. Thank you.